I don't know if you know that, like, the only reason I'm literally an actor is because of you.
Because we both light skin?
Exactly.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
It was the best day of my life. Oh my god, it's so crazy. I love you.
So sweet.
I want tissue. I just pictured myself like 7 years old telling you that. I'm like, oh my god, that's crazy.
Now I have to show you a picture that my mom put in my purse before I left of us when we met on the set of Corey in the House, and she also shoved multiple things in there.
I'll
just
sign
in case.
that.
They're all in my purse.
Do you have them all?
Yes.
We'll
Those are
grab it right now. I'll sign it on camera.
Rarely do I say
This
yes
is
to
a
stuff
photo.
like that. Oh yeah, that's the baby girl.
I showed her that photo, and Raven still has that hat.
I still have the
Do you
hat.
really? It's a cool hat.
I remember this. Here's the seat.
So hilarious. That. Thank you so much.
Wow.
I have a That's a Raven DVD.
I'll sign that.
Easy.
And oh, gotta love the two girls.
Oh my god, babe, your face is so cute.
Such a girl.
Raven's like,
I
Oh,
still do that.
I have 2 books,
Oh
and
my
this one was
God.
given to me by Kyle for my 8th birthday, and he signed
Oh
the back of
wow, Kyle, that's
Yeah.
not even your show.
wait, psyched?
He's on the cover.
Oh, that's fair.
Bring it on, Shirley, said Raven. There you go.
You don't have to sign all of them.
Oh no, this is fun.
Okay, am I the first person to bring 8 different
Yeah, I
pieces
didn't
of physical memorabilia
Ever.
from
This is-
2005?
This
into
is
the
so
studio?
cool.
Great.
The pages are yellowed.
She's vintage.
Boy likes girl. Girl likes boy. They both die. Cry, cry, cry. The end. Said Raven.
Period.
Yes, that was a poem that I did in school.
Oh my god.
Literally. Oh, hey.
That ass.
Hey. Raven, wait, place him.
So obviously Raven-Symoné has made a name for herself over the years. I remember her from The Cosby Show, but even after Cosby, she had a ton of success. I mean, she had her own television show, That's So Raven, and just many other appearances. And so she really did influence a generation of women, as she was growing up. But with that said, what stood out to me about this interview wasn't necessarily the mentorship that we saw between Raven-Symoné and Madison Pettis, I think her name is, and just ultimately the way she really looked up to Raven-Symoné and really saw her as responsible for much of her success. But it was the comment about them being light-skinned and the fact that they connected on the light-skin experience. And I really wanted to talk about that because I felt like this touches upon a common discussion we see among Black women in general, and that is colorism, features, and texturism. And here we have a prime example of 2 light-skinned women, arguably multiracial, whatever, but basically lighter-skinned women who probably would fit into the exotical category, like low-key laughing and joking, but also, making a comment about their light-skin privilege being largely responsible for their success, right? They didn't say that openly, but they definitely took a jab at it. And I honestly think that was more of a joke, but it does speak to I think it actually speaks to a strange place that many lighter skinned people or exoticals actually find themselves in. In one sense, maybe feeling or recognizing that they do have privileges in certain regards, that they do have certain access to things that they may not if they were perceived in a darker shade, but also at the same time feeling very much isolated as well. I mean, if you go back to the tragic mulatto syndrome, I mean, that is a prime example, right? These were lighter skinned people who were the product at the time of oftentimes African enslaved women and white slave masters. And they were oftentimes given privileges of certain things, but at the same time, never really fully fit into any place. So that is something that I found that lighter skinned people and sometimes even mixed race people struggle with today. And by the way, this doesn't just impact, multiracial or biracial people. Like, this also can impact people who are fully Black, but just happen to be lighter skinned. Like, I can even think, for example, my sisters. I have 2 sisters. I have a sister that would be considered darker skinned. I probably be considered brown skinned. And then I have another sister that would be considered light skinned. And we all have different experiences when it comes to these things. So again, I'm just what I found so interesting about this was the acknowledgement that they had, and probably also that kindred experience that possibly made it easier for them to connect. Also, I want to acknowledge, like, there are very many dark skinned people who actually they complain about the fact that there is not a lot of positive dark skin representation in the media. And honestly, I think they're right. Many of the complaints I've heard from like Mayo's World, things like that, even Chrissy, although I don't necessarily agree with many things that she says, they are right that there is not a ton of, there's maybe not the best representations of darker skinned people in the media, but I mean, obviously there is a reason for that. Like, to me, it's not surprising that if you live in a Western society that, the European values are essentially the norm, like, it's not surprising that as a minority, you would have minority appeal, and that people who are more closely aligned to European aesthetics are going to be more favored, aka those who are lighter, or aka those who have alkaline finer features, or those features that may be considered more quote European. So it's not surprising to me that lighter skinned people, or those who seem more acceptable to a white audience, have more media representation. Like, that's not surprising at all. That's actually to be expected when you understand the history of this country. And I honestly think that, like, the best solution for those like dark skinned people, dark skinned women in particular, who really do want to see more representation, to want to be the standard, or at the very least have more representation, it's like really the only way, in my opinion, to do that is actually through nationalism. Like, if you're a person where you believe that you want to be the standard, you want to be there, it's like, well, then you should be about nationalism, or you should be at the very least putting yourself in Black nations or Black countries, going to places where Blackness is the standard, or supporting people or supporting organizations or realities who are about creating Black industries, supporting those who are about building their own movie studios, supporting those people who are about creating their own modeling agencies. Like, you should be connected to those who are about building societies and realities that are for Black people. Like, that is, to me, that's the only solution, because there's not going to be reality in a white society where Black people become a standard or are given an equal share of opportunity. Like, that's just like, I don't ever really see that happening. Like, as long as capitalism exists, and as long as we exist in a system where there has to be winners and losers in order for the system to thrive, then like there's always going to be a level of hierarchy. So that's what I'm saying. I think like that is like people who are really serious about that, would actually be more inclined or more interested in connecting into spaces that are like truly Black. You know what I mean? And then if you're not, like, if you just are not that person, then I actually think it's a better strategy to collaborate with the Exoticals, or to collaborate with those who are mixed race, because they're probably going to be the ones who are more likely, or who are more inclined to actually want to help or give you representation. Even if I go back to the tragic mulatto stereotype, right, which refers to the child that was born from oftentimes an enslaved African woman and a white slave owner. Oftentimes you saw those people having to pick a side. Either they would side with their white side and, kind of help with just continue colonization and all that kind of different stuff, or they would side with the slaves, and they would be about resisting. They would be about trying to free slaves. And so what you'll see is that, while there are some multiracial people who try to embrace the fullness, the reality is many of them are put in positions where they're forced to choose, especially if they're a Black man. If it's a multiracial Black man, many times he is othered, right? And so I'm just saying, like, to me, a smarter strategy is to collaborate with those who may have greater access in the system that you want representation, because I think you're more likely to get help from them, those who may have some form of maternal or paternal or blood connection with you, than or expecting white media to promote you in the same way that they may promote their own community. So to me, like I said, in my opinion, that is the best way to do it if you are not about trying to build your own reality or support those who are ultimately building a reality that's a reflection of you. So anyways, y'all, that's what I have. Those are my thoughts. But what do you think? Do you agree or do you disagree? Let me know down in the comment section. Thank you so much for listening if you've gotten this far, and we'll talk later. Bye. I'm really excited to announce my new kids book, Aisha Learns to Love Her Hair. Aisha's hair is stunning, but she struggles to see its beauty. Through encouragement and wisdom from Grandma Lily, Aisha learns powerful lessons about self-acceptance. Aisha's journey is a heartwarming tale of family, culture, and confidence. Share her magical journey with your little loved one today, available for purchase.